Hi everybody. We're going to talk about checking solutions to equations today. This is something we did earlier in the year, so I'm hoping it feels somewhat familiar. So we've been working with equations that have one variable in them. Now we're going to start talking about linear equations. And linear equations like this one right here, x plus 1 equals y, has two variables in it, an x and a y. And here's what we want to know. If x is 2 and y is 3, is this true? Is x plus 1 equal to y if our x value is 2 and our y value is 3? Is this equation true? And this is a fairly simple equation. You might not need to do this out, but I'm asking you to so that you're practicing the method when the equations get a little more complicated. So the way you do this is you're basically recopying the equation, except you are leaving a space for your x value and you're leaving a space for your y value. So if x is 2, and this is where the x was, I put the 2 in here. And over here, where the y was in the equation, that's where my y value goes. So is 2 plus 1 equal to 3? Yes, it is. And so we say yes. With these values, make this equation true. Let's try this one. So again, if x equals 2 and y equals 3, the question is, when I substitute 2 in for x and y in for 3, does that make the equation true? So let's see. I copied my equation, and this is what you're doing with me. 2, there's room for my x value, minus 1 equals, and there's the space for my y value. So again, x is 2, y is 3, and I'm going to go ahead and do this math out. 2 times 2 is 4. And is 4 minus 1 3? Yes, it is. And therefore, x equals 2 and y equals 3 is a solution to that equation. Okay, so it's not usually written out like this. I'm going to show you now usually how a problem like this is written out. So the problem will usually say is, let's see what I've got here, 3, 5, a solution to, and then the equation is 3x plus 1 equals y. So what this means is that if x is 3, and y is 5, does it make this equation true? So I'm going to copy the equation, but I'm going to leave a space where my variables are. So it would be 3 times the x value plus 1 equals, and I'm going to leave a space for my y value. So x was 3, y is 5. So let's see. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1. Well, 9 plus 1 is certainly not equal to 5. So the answer to this question is no. Let's do another one like that. So the question is 0, 1 a solution to, got to find my equation here, 2y plus x equals 2. So remember, this means that the x value would be 0 and the y value would be 1. So if x equals 0 and y equals 1, is this true? So again, just like up here on the other samples that we've done, you're going to copy the equation and leave a space for your variables. So instead of 2y, I'm writing 2 times, and that's where my y will go, plus, just going to leave a space for my x, equals 2. So, look, the y came first, but it always comes second in the ordered pair. And this is why it's so important for me to label what variables go where here. So my y value of 1 is going to go here. My x value of 0 goes where the x was in the equation. And let's see, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 0 equals 2. So yes, that ordered pair is a solution to that equation. All right, last one. Let's try this one. Is 4, 1 a solution to 4y equals x? What's the first thing I need to do? I'm going to label these x and y. This means when x is 4 and when y is 1. Is that equation true? All right, here we go. So instead of 4y, it's going to be 4 times my value for y equals my value for x. And let's see, if y is 1 and x is 4, 4 times 1 certainly equals 4. So again, this is a yes. So when both sides of the equation come out to be the same, it means that yes, that ordered pair is a solution to the equation. Up here, we came out with this crazy thing, and 10 is certainly not equal to 5. So these values did not make that equation work. So I'm going to give you, let's see, how many did I make for you? I made you 3. I'm going to have you work on these 3. You'll need to show the work just like we did in the samples. And again, I should have said this before, if you did not have time to get all the sample work written down as I was going along, please do go back and finish that before you start working on the independent work. Each of these problems will look exactly like the samples. Make sure you show everything just like the samples. And I'll hope to see you soon. Bye-bye, kids.